Hello, everyone. It's Kieran here, Magical Traveler. Hopefully, you can all hear me and you're all having a really lovely day. It's incredibly warm where I am. So, for those of you who've never met me before, I'm based in Bristol, and it is incredibly warm and muggy here. So, I'm currently really sweating. So, I'm a bit delirious, not going to lie. But yeah, I thought today I would come to you and just share with you some of the details that we've been shared ahead of the new Virgin Voyages sailings going on sale on Monday. So if you guys are following any of my social channels or you're in our Facebook groups, you would have seen that we were very kindly shared by Virgin Voyages some of the advanced details of some of the sailings that are going to be coming from Portsmouth next year. Now, the really exciting news for us here in the UK is that we are going to be having Resilient Lady sailing from Portsmouth again next year. And I think this is really, really great. And I think for a lot of the customers that I work with, they're all desperate to try Virgin Voyages, but they're not quite ready yet to commit to a full kind of 7-night sailing, fly to kind of Barcelona or to Athens or to the Caribbean to kind of get that experience of what it's like to set sail the Virgin Voyages way. So it's really great to have a ship sailing from the UK. So what I thought I would do today is just kind of go over the details of what those Portsmouth shorts, as they call them, are going to be about. Answer any questions you've got. So feel free, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, in theory, if the technology works, you should be able to ask your questions and then I can see them. And then I can, if you're happy to, bring them on the screen as well and answer any questions as we go along. But any questions about kind of what it's like to set sail with Virgin, or if you've got any specific questions about these Portsmouth shorts. So, loads of really boring questions, that things like, can you use your placeholders on board? What are the deposits and all that type of stuff? I will do my best to answer. If I don't answer now, I will come back to you as soon as I have the answers. But the release went out today, so hopefully you've seen it. If you're on my newsletter and you've seen our website, you would have seen today that we did have a bit of a preview of what those sailings are going to be. So I'm going to bring my screen and share my laptop screen so you can see this now. So there are 3 things I want to chat to you about today, but the first one's going to be just in general, what are the sailings and what's going to be happening. So Virgin have unfortunately delayed Brilliant Lady, their 4th ship, so she's going to be coming late to the market. It's not an indefinite. You may have seen someone online, and you may have heard some rumors that she's indefinitely on hold and on cancelled. She's not. She's delayed. So she's not going to be released in the short-term future, so within the next couple of months. But there are plans to kind of in the new year to announce then kind of what Brilliant Lady will be doing. So don't feel like Brilliant's not coming. She's just delayed at the moment. But what that does mean is there has been then a bit of a reshuffling of what sailings then are going to be happening. So for particularly the Caribbean, Valiant Lady is going to be taking over some of Brilliant Lady's itineraries. And then that does mean then as well that Resilient Lady is going to be having a bit of a shift to her sailings. Now, for those that don't know, Resilient Lady launched this year. This is her first year of sailing. We were on board back in May, and we did the Adriatic sailing on her sailing from Athens. She is also then as well doing the Greek Isles sailing as well, so sailing around the Greek islands. And that's another sailing that myself and Phil are going to be doing in, checks notes, about 21 days. So we're doing 2 weeks on board Resilient Lady this October, doing a back-to-back Greek Isle Glow sailing. So what's going to be happening next year is Resilient Lady will be going down to Australia for the winter months, and she'll be doing a series of kind of shorter and longer sailings around Australia and New Zealand. And then in the kind of spring period, she's going to be transitioning then from Australia back to the UK, back to Athens, sorry, where she'll be doing then from around about late April through to around about August. She's going to be doing a series of sailings then as well, doing kind of the Adriatic and the Greek Isle Glow sailings again. So if you want to go away in kind of early spring, then definitely that's the time to do it, because that's when those Greek islands and the Adriatic sailings that have been incredibly popular this year will be available again. However, what's going to happen then around about kind of the end of July, she's going to go off sail for about 2-3 weeks because she's on a private charter, but she's going to make her way to Portsmouth in the UK, where she's going to be doing a series of these Portsmouth short sailings. Now, there are 4 different itineraries that are available with Virgin Voyages next year. Some of them range from 3 nights right the way up to 6 nights, and we're going to be going to some new destinations that we've never gone to before as well with Virgin Voyages. So the first one and the shortest one that's going to be available is going to be the Portsmouth to Zeebrugge and back. So this basically sailing is going to be doing a day at sea, it does a day in Zeebrugge first, sorry. So for those of you that don't know, Zeebrugge is kind of about 30 minutes-ish by kind of coach or taxi away from Bruges then as well, which is a really lovely kind of medieval town that you can go to, and is kind of the heart of where kind of chocolate making is done as well in Brussels. So it's really lovely to kind of go there and just have this really kind of medieval town experience. There's loads of really amazing crafts and art and things like that. There's a really good food culture and food community there as well. Definitely lots of chocolate making. I've done a chocolate making class there, and that's some of the best chocolate I've ever had. So Belgian chocolate, which is really amazing as well to get that there as well. So, it's a really lovely destination to go to. So you get to kind of spend a day at sea, go into Zeebrugge, and then coming back to Portsmouth. So again, fantastic sailing to kind of get a feel for what it's like to set sail with Virgin. Maybe if you've never cruised before as well, it's a really great, lovely way to kind of do that. and have a nice experience on board. So there's one date for that, sorry. So it's the 27th of August. This is going to be the first of the sailings as well. So if you want to kind of jump in there and get in there straight away, then that's going to be the way to head to a 3-night voyage departing the 27th of August from Portsmouth as well. And that's got a lead-in price of, and it's on there, so $499 per person. I'm not sure if you can see that on the screen, sorry. So fantastic price. That's $499 per person, and that's going to be for a sea terrace, which is what Virgin call their balconies. The amazing thing about the balconies is you can have a hammock. So you do have your own private hammock on board as well. So obviously sailing in August, we should hopefully have fantastic weather. So you'll be able to enjoy that day at sea, enjoy the amazing hammock on board your stateroom, and just have a really lovely time when you're on board. But what's fantastic is what it does also include a bar tab. Now, Virgin Voyages is a full board cruise. So when you get on board, all your soft drinks are included, all your dining is included as well. There's no buffets, there's no main dining room. It's all specialty level dining. That's all included in the off. The only thing you do need to pay for is going to be your alcoholic drinks, or if you want to have kind of coffee, or if you want to have fresh juices on board. Drip coffee is included for free. It's just if you want to have a gourmet coffee like a latte or a macchiato or things like that, then that is an extra charge. And at rough price are going to be between $2 and $3 to pay for that. So again, even if you are paying, the prices are really, really good value on board as well. But the great thing for these offers is they do all include bar tabs as well. So a bar tab is kind of a way to prepay for your drinks on board. Usually in a typical situation, you will pay $300 and then you'll get given an extra $50 or, depends on your loyalty status, $100. Virgin are including in every single one of these sailings an amount of bar tab. It just depends on the length of the sailing, how much bar tab you are going to be getting. So in the case of this 3-night sailing, you are going to get $125 bar tab. However, we are also then offering as well an exclusive offer as well. If you book with us, we are giving you an extra $50 sailor loot if you book a sea terrace or above. If you book one of the inside cabins or you book a solo cabin, then what you can do is you'll get half the amount of bonus sailor loot you can see on the offers here. So you'll get $25 per cabin, basically, if you decide to book one of the inside cabins or a sea view, as they call them, or one of the ocean view cabins. Then up next, and as well, and this is the one that I'm probably the excited. No, not this one. The next one. Sorry, it's jumping ahead. Then you've got kind of from England to Amsterdam. There are how many of these? There's 3 of these sailings. Now this was a really good one because this is going to be going from Portsmouth again, but you get an overnight in Amsterdam. So I'm really, really excited about having the overnight in Amsterdam. I think this is a great thing, and this is what Virgin are really famous for as well. It's about getting kind of those overnight stays and destinations. So if you do one of their Barcelona sailings, you get an overnight in Ibiza. If you're doing the Greek Island Glow, you get an overnight in Mykonos as well. So they're really famous for kind of having that overnight and that late night departures as well. So this is going to be a fantastic way as well if you want to go out and explore the nightlife in Amsterdam. Whatever you get up to is up to you. I won't judge. I'll probably be there with you. But you can enjoy kind of an overnight in Amsterdam if you wanted to as well, and then have a day at sea on board as well. So again, 4-night sailing. Again, the starting price, we've only got sea terrace prices at the moment. So the only prices Virgin have released to us at the moment are going to be for sea terraces. Prices for things like inside cabins, solo cabins, Rockstars, XL, all that type of stuff. We've been told that we should hopefully have those prices before these go on sale on Monday. But at the moment, the only prices they've shared with us are going to be for sea terraces based on 2 sharing. So Brits on a Ship, hello guys, thank you for watching. I can see your question there as well. So what is it? So we did 3 nights on Scarlet Valley from Portsmouth, so happy to be able to complete the set. Any idea of Rockstar pricing? As I just said, yeah, sadly, we don't have any Rockstar pricing as of yet. We've been promised we should get it hopefully today or tomorrow. So as soon as we get it, I will share that as well. Virgin don't do fluid pricing, so in theory their prices should stay roughly the same. They may decide to, if they sell well, to kind of maybe increase the price as it goes along, but they don't do fluid pricing like some cruise lines where every time a cabin sells, the price is readjusted and keeps changing. They tend to have a really good, big, chunky allocation of cabins, and the price stays at that price until kind of they sold X number of cabins. So it's not strictly fluid pricing like you'll get with maybe like Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, or P&O. They do kind of really aggressive fluid pricing where every time a cabin is sold after certain increments, then the price goes up type of thing. But no, as of yet, no, we don't. But it is exciting. This is what's great as well. So if, yeah, you did get to do Scarlet during kind of those staycation season back when we were kind of, when the Virgin first launched. And then last year, if you got to do one of the mini cruises as well on Valiant, this is a great chance then you to kind of, as you say, complete the set as it stands at the moment, at least anyway, and also get Resilient off your list as well. For those of you wondering if you don't know the difference, all 4 of Virgin ships, and I will include Brilliant Lady, are relatively identical. So they offer the same dining venues, they offer the same nightclubs, the same bars and lounges. There's just differences in kind of decor, there's difference in artwork available in them. But once you've been on one Virgin ship, on the whole, you've got a really fantastic idea of kind of what all the different ships are like. Just there's different artwork. Resilient Lady does have new entertainment. So if you've done Scarlet, or if you've done Valiant Lady, then there are totally new shows. Now, There is a blog, I think. Yes, there is. There's a really good blog on my website. I'm plugging my website hard, sorry. But if you check my website and search for Scarlet versus Resilient Lady, or if you just go onto the website, hit the blog, and then hit Virgin Voyages, it'll bring up all our Virgin Voyages blogs. And there's a really good blog on there that compares Scarlet Lady to Resilient Lady. So you can kind of see the differences between entertainment. You can also see the differences between some of the artwork. So you can get a feel of kind of like what the difference is between those two different ships and what they're offering. Does now need to be updated because this has changed. But in general, you'll see kind of the med sailings and what the differences between those and kind of some of the entertainment differences between those two different ships. So sorry, back to this, sorry, yep. So you've then got from England to Amsterdam, 4-night sailing. Leading price on that one, then again, in a sea terrace for 2 sharing is going to be $699 per person. And then that is also going to include your $300 bar tab, again, to spend on alcoholic drinks and coffee and things like that. And then again, for that one, if you book a sea terrace or above, we'll give you a bonus $100 sailor loot as well. Dates for that are available on the screen. Again, you can see them on the website as well, but there's a good number of those sailings as well. And then this is the one that I'm excited for, sorry. So this is going to be then including Zeebrugge and Amsterdam, again, giving you that overnight in Amsterdam. And this is going to be a 5-night voyage as well. So this gives you a little bit longer to kind of bed into kind of all the entertainment. You probably won't get around all the dining restaurants on board because there are 6 main eateries on board. So there are 6 main eateries that you can go to into the evening. You can technically do brunch in 2 of them. So if you maximize your time on board, you can do brunch in the 2 of them and then maybe do for the 4 that don't offer brunch and then pick your favorite and go back to your favorite on the last night. So you can choose between kind of those 6 different dining restaurants, eating in one of them and then maybe do brunch in the other one. So a great chance to try everything on board, and that'll give you a good amount of time then to see as many of the shows as possible on board and just really kind of get a feel for everything that Virgin has to offer. Now, there's a number of sailings more in September for this. So the 3rd of September, 14th of September. And again, Sea Terrace for 2 sharing is going to be $899 per person with a $300 bar tab by Virgin. And then we're also going to give an extra $100 onto that as well. And then lastly, this is the one that a lot of people are excited for because this one includes ports that Virgin have never sailed to. So this is going to be a 6-night voyage. And I've got a lot of people who are already interested in booking this when it goes on sale on Monday. But this is going to be going then from Portsmouth again, day at sea. So you're going to be going to the Bay of Biscay, visiting then to A Coruña, Bilbao, and then you're going to be going to Bordeaux, which Virgin have never been to Bordeaux before. I've never been on cruise to Bordeaux as well. So I'm actually quite tempted to maybe try and fit this in if I can do. Day at sea then to come back to Portsmouth. And then you end your voyage type of thing. So again, that one's going to be great because you will then have the time on board to do all 6 of the eateries on board Virgin Voyages as well on that sailing. A really great price as well. So again, $999 per person with the $300 bar tab per cabin. And then again, we're giving an extra $100 sailor loot on sea terraces or above on that one as well. So again, really fantastic range of voyages. Obviously, this is a case of they are going from Portsmouth, so these are ports in the north of Europe, so you are going to be kind of seeing a lot of the Northern Europe ports as well. So these are kind of well-traveled ports, but some of these, like this sailing, particularly the English sites and European delights, is the first time that Virgin have ever sailed there. So again, really fantastic chance to kind of visit those ports with Virgin. Hello, Carolyn, I've seen your question. So yes, there are a limited number of cabins that you can fit 3 people into them. They do sleep in a different configuration depending on which one you do sleep in. So for those people who've seen Virgin cabins, they do have what they call their seabed, which in typical configuration is set into a double bed. But then that seabed can turn into kind of an L shape, basically, so that 2 people can then sleep in that cabin together, kind of, you know, you've got one headboard here and another headboard here for the person facing that way. You can then technically get some cabins where you can have a double bed and then a single bed on the side as well for kind of, you know, maybe parents with older children who are sailing. And then there are a couple of cabins as well that do have kind of bunk bed berths as well. They're not quite bunk beds, but they're Pullman beds, so you pull them down from the ceiling. So what you can do is you kind of, again, have like double bed, or you can have like the 2 singles and then pull down a 3rd bed from the ceiling as well. There's not a massive number of them. So if you are keen on getting one of them, probably try and get in there sooner rather than later as well. I do have a fact sheet with all the numbers on, so maybe message me and I can let you know exactly how many there are on each ship. But there's less of them than there are of kind of the standard 2. The majority of cabins sleep 2. The majority of suites sleep 2. There's a handful of suites that do sleep 3. So Virgin is an adult-only cruise line. They're very much set at kind of couples, basically, an adult couple sharing together, but there are definitely cabins that sleep more. There's a really unusual cabin. There's the Social Insider, which can sleep, I believe, up to 6. In my opinion, it's very small, very bijou. So I personally wouldn't want to be sleeping in that one myself with 5 other people that I know. But there is options as well to kind of get more than 3, potentially up to 4 into a cabin as well on some of the cabins, but they are very limited. And then just to quickly then share with you as well, because this is obviously me just trying to promote ourselves, but we are going to be running, 2 different group sailings on board as well. So you can see these details on our website, but we've chosen, because we just love Virgin so much, and we are on Virgin quite a lot. We've been on twice already this year, and we're going to be on again twice again before the year ends. So this is a fantastic chance for us to kind of get back on board again. So we just thought, why not share that experience with those of you who want to travel with us? We are very hands-off people. We're not one of those people that kind of be knocking on your doors and saying, you come to the pool type of thing. We're not that type of people. So don't think it's that type of group trip type of thing. It's just a chance, particularly for solo travelers, if maybe you want to go and have your hand held. If you've never sailed Virgin before and you want to know, kind of have somebody on board who you can kind of just kind of go, what's the best place to dine? How do I do this? We do that for our customers anyway. Like, I've got customers WhatsApping me now who are on board what ships? Valiant Lady, sorry, at the moment. So they just message me questions about how do I do things. I'm always available to customers if they've got questions, but just knowing that we're on board the ship, for some people, they love that. I think we're fun as well, so why not come sail with us? But if you do choose these two sailings, so we have picked the 30th of August sailing, so we're doing that from England to Amsterdam sailing, which again, I really, really like the sound of, getting that overnight in Amsterdam. If you choose to go on to sail with that one with us, we will give you extra loot on top of the loot we're already giving away as well. So on that case, we'll give you the $100 we're already included, but we'll also give you another $100. So in the case of that sailing, if you book a sea terrace, you'll get the $300 bar tab, and then you will get $200 as well if you book a sea terrace on board as well, if you choose to sail on that one. And again, I promise you don't have to see us if you don't want to. It's just a case of we're going to be on board. So we are going to be able to give extra perks because we are going to be sailing on board that voyage. We are going to try and see if we can maybe organise some sort of drinks reception with Virgin. It's just too early for us to promise that. If Virgin won't do an official one where we can coordinate with Virgin to organise one, then all we'll do is we'll just tell you what bar we're going to be in and we'll buy everyone a round of drinks, worst case scenario. But we're hoping that we can kind of get one of the bars on board. It's a service you can pay for. If there's a big enough group of you, you can just pay to kind of take over a bar for a few hours. And then you get kind of cocktail service and things like that. Again, they don't like to confirm it until you get closer, so I don't want to promise anyone that that's what's going to happen. But at the very least, like I say, we'll buy everyone a drink. But then as well, because we're maximizing our time on board, we've decided then the following week as well, we will do the same thing, but we're going to do the Zeebrugge and Amsterdam sailing. So hopefully then we'll be on the ship back to back. So we'll just stay on the ship ourselves. You can do that if you want to as well, do a back-to-back on board. But the 3rd of September, then we will do the Zeebrugge and Amsterdam sailing. And again, the same situation. If you book onto that one, you'll get the bar tab that Virgin Voyages are including. And then we'll also give you then the bonus loot as well. So again, in the case of a sea terrace, just to confirm it, you'll get the 300 bar tab and then 200 sailor loot as well. So you're going to get really, really great value on that voyage as well. So you could get very tips if you wanted to treat yourself to a tattoo on board, go to the spa, treat yourself. Spend that money in the sweet shop if you wanted to. You could do whatever you wanted to with that money. So those details are on the website. So if you want to find the website, just search out magical-traveler.com. There's a ton of information about Virgin Voyage on the website. I probably spend more time writing about Virgin than any other cruise line. The big thing, obviously, these sailings have gone on there now as well. So you can see all the details of the Portsmouth sailings, where to book them, how to book them if you want to get in touch with us. We can do it as hands-on or hands-off as you want. So Virgin have a really great feature. So I'll just show you that quickly now. But what you can do is if you click on this one to use our book and go link, you can actually self-service yourself and still get all the perks that we're offering as well. So if you click on this link, what will happen is at the very, very top, it will say sold and serviced by Kieran Miller. That's this guy. And basically that just means that it's linked to our travel agency. So it just means that obviously we will be acting as your travel agent, but you can completely self-service yourself if you wanted to. Again, I love speaking to people, but if you don't want to and you just know what you're looking for, all you have to do then is just go through. These sailings go on sale Monday, at 10 a.m. So they won't show up yet on the website. They may give you a preview, but they don't show up yet. But basically just go through, pick Europe. And again, you can just filter to the name of the sailing if you want, or just hit apply. Pick the date. So obviously they're going to be next. When are they going to be? August through September. Hit apply and then just go through the website. Just book it as normal. Just like I say, make sure that it does say sold and serviced by Kieran Miller at the top, and then it'll definitely be linked to our agency so we can then make sure you get your extra perks for booking on board that voyage. And then just pick the sailing, go through the booking window. I'll get an email, you get an email, and we're all sorted type of thing and booked in. And then we'll just make sure we add you to our group reservation so you get all those perks. But back to the website, sorry. So yeah, I was just saying about how come we've got tons of content. I'm working on adding more content for other cruise lines, but Virgin is by far our biggest seller and is what we specialize in, what we personally love as well. So there's tons of content. Cabin tours, if you've never seen the cabins, there's loads of that stuff on there as well. Recently, I just put on, what did I recently put on? This one's the one I was talking about, sorry, the Scarlet Lady versus Resilient Lady. So again, if you want to see the differences between the ships, that's a great post to check out as well. There's a blog post as well that's kind of co-written by our sales manager about traveling solo with Virgin Voyages. So if you're ever interested in what it's like to sail solo, that's a great one to look out. Deck plans, all sorts on there. A really cool one as well. So if you go into blog and then personal trips, this is where we write our reviews. I'm currently in the middle of working through our Alaska and Canada trip review, but equally as well, last summer when we sailed on board Valiant Lady and in the Irresistible Med in the Med, I've done a review as well, relatively day by day, of all the different things we got up to as well. So if you're kind of wondering what it's like to sail on board, what the entertainment's like, the food, all that type of stuff, there's a whole series of literally quite in depth. I spent quite a lot of time proudly writing these posts. But it just talks about just what we got up to. So obviously we will cruise differently from you, but there's lots of details of just kind of what we did in port, all the different food, things like that as well. So by all means, please do check them out. There's loads of information there as well. Hello, sweet Richard. How are you guys? So yes, we saw you guys on Resilient, didn't we? So Portsmouth again. Not sure we'll end up in the pool. Do you know what? The whole jumping in the pool on Scarlet Night. So for those guys who don't know, Virgin have a deck party. Basically, they have a ship-wide party called Scarlet Night on board, where the whole ship comes alive and it's all kind of lit in red. And usually, if the weather's good, will culminate on the pool deck. And usually, you are invited if you want to jump in the pool. And every time I tell myself I'm not jumping in that pool, and every time I get in that pool, but it is a fantastic deck wide party. It's probably one of my favorite things about sailing with Virgin is when you get to Scarlet Night and everyone kind of gets dressed up into it. Everyone wears a little bit of red. There's loads of kind of pop-up events, loads of entertainment on board. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? And you get to kind of just really let loose and have fun. And I will say as well, Virgin's a really kind of relaxed cruise. It's a relaxed premium cruise. So you kind of get to have a really relaxed time once you are on board. And they kind of call it as come as you are. So there's no formal dress code on board. Obviously, you have to wear clothes. That's the main thing. But it's a really relaxed dress code on board. It's one of the reasons why I love it. I love that kind of premium casual luxury vibe on board. So kind of come as you are, dress as you are. There's no dining room dress codes. And same with Scarlet Night as well. People express themselves in a different way. People get dressed up in frocks and gowns and they really go all out. Some people just dress in kind of shorts and t-shirt and have a really relaxed environment on board. So it's really, really fun for that. And everyone's up for a good time. They just create this really great atmosphere where everyone's relaxed and enjoying themselves. So you just have an absolute blast and a ball on board as well. So from Bristol Ship, it looks like they added a status match with other cruise loyalty schemes since we last booked. Do you need to book your cruise first, though? No, you can totally do that straight away as well. So for those that are wondering, there is a service by Virgin Voyages called Match and Seymour, C as in SEA. So you can do that on the Virgin Voyages website. So if you just kind of Google Virgin Voyages Match and Seymour, or Virgin Voyages Loyalty Club, Virgin Voyages Loyalty Club. I'll show you the page now when I can find it. So they have a loyalty club called the Sailing Club. This has been a bit stop-start, basically. So this was launched as a bit of a short-term loyalty scheme. Then it got extended, and now they've just extended it again now as well. So if you are going to be sailing in 2024 with Virgin Voyages and you have loyalty status with another cruise line, another airline, or another hotel group, then Virgin will, depends on your level with that cruise line, they will match your status to their loyalty club. Now, there's no levels with Virgin. There is just you're either in it or out of it. But you do get some great perks. And I will just go through with what they are because, honestly, they're fantastic. And if I lose these perks, I think I'll be devastated. The first one you're going to get is from when you kind of board, you get expedited boarding. So as soon as public boarding opens, which is usually around about 1:30, you can go straight on the ship and be one of the first on the ship as well, which means you can get pizza, you can get drinking, you can get hog those day beds by the pool or on the dock if you wanted to. So you are kind of the first people to get on after Rockstars. Rockstars always get priority. And then Rockstars is the VIP, so suite level, basically. So it's normally suite level. And then you'll find then it'll be kind of Sailing Club and people who have access to another package you can get, which is the Splash of Romance, which is kind of like for couples that treat themselves, where you get kind of like a shake for champagne, where you can get a bottle of Moet on order. You get aphrodisiac treats in your cabin each day, and you get spa access. So they're the two different ways you can kind of get loyal priority access to get on board the ship straight away. But you get a $100 bar tab credit as well. So again, you get an extra $100 to spend on board. And now that is a bar tab, so it has to be spent on kind of alcoholic drinks, coffee, or mocktails. So again, you get that. So it's an extra $100 again to spend on board alcohol. You get unlimited premium Wi-Fi. Now, last summer, they didn't have premium Wi-Fi in Europe. This summer, they do. I have no idea if that's in Portsmouth, though. Sorry, it wasn't when Valiant and Scarlet launched. So everyone gets free Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi is included across the board with Virgin Voyages. However, if you are in the Sailing Club, you don't have to pay to get premium Wi-Fi. And as it says there, we're available because last summer in the English Channel, it wasn't because they don't have satellite coverage. But we'll know sooner rather than later, I guess, on that one. You get dedicated sailor services support. I've never needed to use it. Sailor services are fantastic on board, so that's kind of guest services. I've never needed to take advantage of this, and I don't even know how you take advantage of it because, like I say, you just use the app on your phone if you've got a problem. We had like an example whereby there was problems with our charging card, so we couldn't charge to our room. I literally sat by the bar, ordered a drink on my husband's sailor band. He just tapped his band and messaged to Sailor Services, and they messaged back to say, no worries, all sorted. I didn't even have to leave the bar. They just did it all via the app. So I can't say I've needed to use this, but you do get it as well. You get access to an exclusive cocktail event as well. So again, if you are in the sailing club, usually one evening on board as well, there will be a dedicated cocktail lounge. So you can go, there's an hour of cocktail drinks where you can kind of have unlimited bubbles. You can have sangria usually, or another cocktail. There's usually some live music and some members of the entertainment cast kind of chatting to you as well. So again, you get that. And you get laundry service as well. So you get 2 pressed items. So if you need to get a shirt or a dress pressed, you can do that. As well as then 1 bag of laundry. Probably on the short sailings, I'd be shocked if you need to use that, but I won't judge if you do. But then equally as well, so you do have a bag, so you can kind of put your laundry into a sack if you wanted to, get it off to get it cleaned, and then they'll bring it back to you as well. And then my favorite perk, and honestly, this is incredible, you get $10 a day coffee credit. That's $10 a day coffee credit on top of your $100 bar tab. So you don't have to dip into your bar tab daily if you wanted to get coffee. So that's enough for pretty much like 3, maybe 4 coffees a day. So me and Phil use this every single day. And I found out from somebody as well that you can actually use this to get spiked coffees as well, because it goes through as a coffee. Doesn't say that it's an alcoholic coffee. So if you wanted to get kind of a coffee and Baileys, it can come out of the $10 daily specialty coffee credits. That may change. They may listen to this and work out that you can do that. And they may be like, that shouldn't be happening. That has happened to customers before where I've told them things. And then because I've told too many people, they've gone and realized there's a loop in the system. But as it stands of this month anyway, you can also use that to get alcoholic coffee drinks as well if you wanted to. And again, find this webpage. Sorry, I waffled on there. Find this webpage, and there's a form here. Sorry. So upload the information, click on that, and then basically show proof that you are a member of the loyalty club. And they will then email you back to say, yes, you get the loyalty status, and it's just basically automatically applied when you sail. If you don't have loyalty to match into, don't panic. You just have a harder journey to get this. If you complete 2 voyages with Virgin Voyages, on your 3rd voyage, you will unlock access to the sailing club. And that applies to all voyages then up until the end of 2024. So if you are thinking of doing more than 1 voyage next year and you've sailed in the past with other cruise lines, and I'll find the link in a second of how they match different. Here we go. So I'll show you now the second of just what levels you need to be with the other cruise lines to get this status. But if you do 2 voyages period with Virgin Voyages, by the time you do your 3rd one, so if you've already sailed twice, in theory, you shouldn't need to do it again, basically, because you've sailed twice already in the past, any length of voyage. So if you've done 2 already, by the time you book your next one, you will automatically get the deep extras added on. If not, let me know and I will speak to my contacts to see if we can get that sorted for you. It's a manual process, so it's never black and white. So sometimes you just have to prompt Virgin and say, this customer's done X number of sailings, and then they will add it on for you. But as you can see here then as well, so it's the majority of the cruise lines. So Azamara, and I'm not going to read out all the levels, you can see them here, but Azamara, if you've got loyalty with them, Carnival, Celebrity Cruises, Disney Castaway Club, which is how we originally did it. So we've sailed with Disney, we've got status with them, we just matched into our Disney status. We've now done enough sailing, so now we're on a different level with Virgin, but it doesn't affect the perks you get, just affects the tick box in the back end of the system. Holland America Mariner Society, MSC Voyagers Club, Norwegian Cruise Lines Latitude, Oceana's Oceana Club, Peninsula Club with P&O, Princess Captain Circle, Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor. If you've got flight clubs as well with Virgin Atlantic's Flying Club, Virgin Australia's Velocity Club, which won't affect us, but obviously Virgin is sailing in Australia in the winter, and Windstar Yacht Club as well. That's less than it used to be, actually, because it used to be hotel groups as well, like Hilton, so they've definitely changed that. And again, for different brands, it's different layer levels as well. So like Disney, pretty much 1 sailing with Disney, and you can get matched into this. Whereas with Royal, I believe you have to do a number of sailings as well. So just keep that in mind as well. It's really easy to do. Just fill out the form, and usually within about a week or 2, they'll come back to you and say you've got it. Definitely, you don't have to wait until you've booked. If you're thinking of booking, just start the process now, and then it's on your account. You'll get an email back from Sailor Services saying, yep, great, no problem, and it'll just be automatically added onto your booking. So yeah, just as you've just said there, so Carol, and no, you don't have to do it before you book. You can just start the process anytime, and they will add it onto your account as and when you do sail then as well. And now it's really clever. It just automatically does it once you've got it. It just every now and then there's a couple of anomalies, but in the whole, every voyage I've booked now, it automatically appears on the booking. Level is actually, it's a great, honestly, that coffee credit and the bar tab. Like I did And it was an invite by Virgin. So I was invited to go on Scarlet Lady in April. And even then, so I was invited on by Virgin Voyages, and I still got my perks as well for being a member of the sailing club as well. So there are ways to get free voyages. So if you have like Virgin Red points, you can book with Virgin Red points and get a complimentary voyage when they are available, and you can still then get your free perks as well on complimentary fare cruises. Again, there's a number of ways to get them. Virgin Red's probably the most popular one. So if you collect credit card points, things like that, you can transfer them over into Virgin Red, and then as and when it's every now and then they'll put you could book a med sailing or a Caribbean sailing. You can then book onto them, and again, if you've got loyalty status, you will still get your perks on board as well. So honestly, it's such a great scheme, and it's really good. But obviously, they're doing it to entice people. So if you've sailed before with other cruise lines, give Virgin Voyages a try. These mini cruises from the UK are a fantastic chance to do that. You're going to get all those amazing perks from day one. And then, yep, definitely, as you say, elite status. I think you've seen it there. Yep. So elite status for Princess, absolutely. Just send off your proof. Usually, it's like a screenshot from the login on the website you got to send in. So I'll go onto the form now. Go back. No, there's a nice big back button there. That may help. And then you just literally, there's an option hidden away on there somewhere that says, just submit your proof here. Go through onto that page and then fill out the details. So just basically, it does ask for a booking reference now. It never used to. Okay, I lied. Sorry, there you go. It's a good thing I'm doing this live, isn't it? You never had to put a booking reference in, but now you do. Sorry. So yes, you do have to book your voyage and then apply for it. So there we go. You're learning this as I'm learning this as well. And then just basically say your first name, last name, your email address. The thing to import, my biggest tip with Virgin Voyages, make sure you keep to the same email address. If you start using different email addresses for different things, so you make a voyage booking, you give a different email address because you've got one for kind of newsletters and one for your bookings, just use the same email address because their system doesn't reconcile if you've got multiple email addresses everywhere. It confuses the system, causes problems. Take it from somebody who's got first-hand knowledge of this problem. They won't be able to track your loyalty and your status and things like that if you do use different email addresses for different things. So just keep the one email address. The other thing as well, and I haven't checked this properly, but as well, the rest of 2024 into 25 is also going to be on sale as well from Monday as well. So if you are somebody who wants to maybe book onto those other voyages, I'm not probably going to go into because I haven't read them and I don't really want to go over them now when I haven't really read them properly. So I don't want to bring them all up and then realize, I didn't know they were going there. Let me just see if I can. Here we go. I did prepare this. Sorry, I did prepare this. I knew I was going to do this. Chaos. Sorry, it's just really hot and I'm losing my brain. So here you go. So this is just an overview grid as well then of just kind of what is available and what has been announced as of yet of where Virgin Voyages is sailing. So as of where we are at the moment, obviously this summer's coming to an end now as well. So Valiant Lady and Resilient Lady are going to be doing the repositioning sailings. So the transatlantic sailings, they're going to be happening. Resilient Lady is spending winter this year and next year in Australia. So they're fantastic itineraries. It's not that they aren't selling, they're just fantastic. But one to look out for is going to be those repositionings as well. So they sold incredibly fast this year. So going from Athens via kind of Dubai. So you do Athens to Dubai, and then there's another leg that does Dubai to, and it may change, but last year it was Dubai to Singapore, and then Singapore via Bali, which was incredible to do, down to Australia. And I believe they're adding on a few more extensions there as well. So if you wanted to kind of explore New Zealand and Auckland and places like that as well, there's an extra extension you could do to kind of go around Australia as all one big long leg if you wanted to, or just book one of the legs along the way as well. And then as for the other ships as well, then generally Valiant Lady will be spending the year in the Caribbean now. So she's going to spend next summer and next winter in the Caribbean doing a mixture of 4, 5, and 6 night sailings, all from Miami next year. And then obviously we're going to have Scarlet Lady over doing the Med next summer as well. So she's going to be sailing from Barcelona, doing 7 night sailings as well next summer, and then she's going to spend winter in the Caribbean doing 6 and 8 night sailings from Miami as well, those longer sailings. And then Brilliant Lady, like I say, she hasn't been delayed indefinitely. Someone did put a press release out saying she has. She's not. She's just being delayed for now. So she is likely, we've been given a rough heads up that she's likely to launch something new in the new year, and she will have new itineraries and she will be going to some new places as well. So definitely keep an ear to the ground for when they're happening. Obviously, I will tell you all as soon as I know. But definitely Resilient Lady is going to be coming. Brilliant Lady is going to be coming soon as well. So don't think she's gone away forever. She's almost finished. They just need to finish her off, and then she will be sailing. One last thing, sorry, whilst I've got you, and a good thing to do as well. If you're not ready to book right now, but you think you may be, there is a feature as well with Virgin Voyages called a My Next Virgin Voyage. I was going to try and download the PDF for it. I sent it to a customer earlier, so I thought I had it. Oh, here we go. It's like as if I planned this in my head. So every single cruise line has a kind of onboard booking offer. So if you book your Virgin cruise when you are on a cruise, they will normally give you an incentive to book another cruise, basically. Virgin Voyages probably have the most generous onboard booking offer that I'm aware of in the industry. So they have this offer, basically, that if you pay $300 when you are on board your cruise, you will then also, so that $300 goes towards the deposit of your cruise, but they will then give you $300 off your next cruise when you actually pick your voyage. But then they will also give you an additional $600 sailor loot to spend on board that voyage when you do sail as well then. So on top of all the sailor loot you can get that's available on any offers or promos, you are already starting your voyage by saving $300 and getting $600 off to spend on board your next voyage. The great news is we're allowed to buy these for customers when we're on board the ship as well. And me and Phil are going to be doing a back-to-back sailing. So we're on board Virgin Voyages for 2 weeks. So we're on board from the 1st of October right the way through to the 14th off the top of my head. 14th, 15th, 15th of October. So for those 2 weeks when we're on board, if you would like us to, we can purchase these placeholders for you. So and you can use these placeholders on your voyages next year as well. So even on the 3-night voyage, you can still use a My Next Virgin Voyage placeholder. So pay the $300 deposit, get $300 off that price. Now, the $300 roughly translates to about £225, £250. It depends on the exchange rate, basically, at the time when the kind of is purchased. That comes off the balance, basically, of the cruise when you do it. And then you'll get $600, as well as the bonus bar tab offer they're offering, as well as the sailor loot that we're offering. So you can really go out there and treat yourself if you wanted to with all the extra loot you get in. If you are interested in buying one of them, there is a web page set up. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry, what it's called. I think it's like exclusive offer. But if you check through the Virgin Voyages posts, and I'll try and link this on my website soon. We're going to start talking about this soon. Just this launch came and surprised us, so I haven't had the chance to kind of get this out there again. But I have updated the page basically. So somewhere on here, there is I'll find it. But basically, somewhere on here, there is an exclusive offer post, basically. I know how, no, they should find it. Anyway, somewhere on there, there's a post about it called exclusive offer. Go on that webpage, fill out the form, and then basically, or just drop me a message or WhatsApp, an email, whatever. If you are interested, basically, and I can chat through the details. The posters explain it, but I can chat through the details of how we do that. Basically, you can either choose to put it straight away on a voyage, so you'll get a confirmation for the voyage with the discounted price and the bonus sailor loot on it, or we could just purchase the placeholder. They sit in your account for when you're ready to book them, and then what will happen is then we will then work with you to book that voyage. Actually, what is really annoying me that I can't find this post now. We can then work with confirming that for you on a voyage. Oh God, I'm a man, sorry, I cannot multitask. You go to search and then type in exclusive offer, it should come up. I proved myself wrong now and it's not going to come up. No, I'm going to find that post and make it more obvious. But yeah, definitely you can take advantage of that offer. So either WhatsApp me, Facebook message me, email me. If you are interested in doing it, it's usually about the boring process is there's 2 ways we can do it. The first way is we generally ask you to pay $300 towards to us in a trust, £300, sorry, to us that sits in a trust account. So we use a protected trust account to protect all our customers' money. That sits in a trust account. And then basically what we do is we then, when we're on board the ship, we use our company cards to purchase that on your behalf. It gets instantly linked to you and you'll get the email confirming that it's been purchased. And then once you're ready to put that against the voyage, all we do is whatever's left from the exchange rate, we will then put on your booking when you're ready to confirm it then as well. So all your money stays protected in a trust account. We don't spend a penny of it. We don't see a penny of it until after you travel. That's when we then get our share of the booking value. The other way as well, and it depends on how busy Virgin are on board, but I've had a chat to the guy who helped me last time. What we can do is we can actually just set them up when we're on board. So what we can do is let us know either what voyage you're doing or if you just want the placeholder. We take down all your details. We have a chat to our contact on board the ship. And then what he does is then he sets up the booking for you, pretends that you're on the ship just down to a bit of a loophole in the system, and then sends you the link. You then pay Virgin directly on the Virgin website for that placeholder, and then you're ready to go, or pay your rest of your deposit. So there are 2 ways you can do it, basically. So I just rather chat to people who are interested in taking advantage of that. And then we work the details out when we're on board, because it really does depend on how busy the ship is, how much time they have to kind of do that. They may either just say, no, do it the quick and easy way for us because we're busy, or they'll be like, yeah, sure, we've got plenty of time. We'll set up the bookings for you and set up the customers for you. But if you are interested in that, you can email me. I will, because I've set this up, pop my email on the screen. So website is there. So if you want to find the website, magical-traveler.com. My email is either hello@magical-traveler.com or my email is kieran@magical-traveler.com. I answer both mailboxes because they both come to me. But yeah, if you are interested in taking advantage of that onboard booking offer, so you can get that extra $300 savings, but also then the $600 to spend in bar tab, then Sailor Loop, then definitely drop us a message and I will sort that out for you as and when we get on board. Anyone else have any questions about? You can ask about the itineraries. I can obviously search the itineraries. So if you're thinking like, what are the Caribbean sailings? I will dig them out and do it. We can do it together as we go through this. But about kind of, offers, availability, promos, the sailings, the ship, anything, by all means, feel free to ask them and I'll answer them before we kind of end this. But other than that, guys, I hope that's been helpful for you. I would love for you to come and join us on one of the group sailings. We had a lot of fun the last time we done this. We had a group of people with us who had a fantastic time. It was a 2 days at sea and a 1 day in land, just because of the nature of kind of the post-COVID world that we were in at the time. They weren't doing as many ports on those sailings. But we had a really fun time type of thing to share it with everyone so that, we kind of had dinners together for those people who were interested in having dinners together. Other people, we just kind of saw them briefly at saying hello to them, and then we kind of just left them to it. They were just kind of very happy just to kind of do their own thing. So we've been very hands-off if you want us to. If people are interested, we could look at maybe doing a group shore thing or a group excursion, but generally people just like to kind of do their own thing when they're in port. So I'm not going to push that upon anyone or suggest that, but we will probably get off on and go into Zeebrugge or Amsterdam in that case as well. So if anybody wants to join us, always more than welcome as well, especially solo travelers. We will always look after solo travelers as well and just kind of just make sure you're okay. But again, Virgin do such a fantastic job of looking after solo travelers. Like I say, dig out the post if you're a solo traveler, just to have a little bit of a better idea of kind of what solo travelers can get up to when they're on board Virgin and what Virgin do to look after solo travelers. But other than that, guys, I hope you found this useful. Any questions, like I say, just always feel free to WhatsApp me or Facebook message me, and I'll try my best to come back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.